love waterfalls so dang much. Roll it. Rippin' bangers. Drone bangers. Here's a banger.
Bangers.
Man, that's a banger. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rippin' Bangers. We are in Iceland. We are at a canyon we just drove a couple hours to called a canyon called
Caligulafer
Canyon, and what we have here are a few waterfalls. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take some bangers, obviously, of this waterfall, but what we're going to do is we're going to work with shutter speed today. So we're going to show how adjusting your shutter speed can have different effects on your photos. And for those of you who don't know, shutter speed is essentially how long you are exposing your camera sensor to your image. So if you have a fast shutter speed, you're gonna really freeze motion in your image. And if you have a slow one, that's how you get that motion blur. So we're gonna do that and kind of walk through a few different shutter speeds to use to get a different effect when it comes to beautiful Icelandic waterfalls. And we're gonna see if we can make it happen. We might get a guest banger on Rippin' Bangers for the first time. Say hello to Shuda. Nate Coughlin, check out his channel and bangers on his Instagram, links in description. Let's get after it. All right, guys, welcome to the spot. As you can see, we have a great view of the waterfall. So shot number one, we're gonna do a very fast shutter speed so we can stop the motion of the waterfall. So for my settings, my shutter speed is going to be 1/500th of a second. So because I did that, it's super dark. I have to light up my image, so I'm going to bring down my f-stop all the way to 2.8 and then lower my ISO or raise my ISO up to about let's see, 1600 looks pretty good. We're on the tripod, so we know we're gonna be steady. And that looks pretty good. So we'll hit the shot. Banger number one. Welcome to banger number two. This will be a more traditional shutter speed that you typically use more often, 1/125. But since I slowed my shutter speed down so much, I added a lot of light to my image. So to counteract that, I have to raise my aperture number or narrow my aperture. So I went from that 2.8, that really wide aperture, up to 5.0. So that's how you kind of counteract the lighting when you're adjusting your shutter speed in your image. So this one, you're not gonna quite freeze the motion as much. You're just gonna get a little more natural motion blur. And so we'll see what this one looks like. This is the perfect time and location to talk about the sponsor for this video. What? We didn't get a sponsor for this video? Are you serious? Okay, cut that. Today's sponsor is breakingfreeproductions.com/store. That's right, get your merch. We got hoodies, we got tees, hats are in stock. Check it out, cozy, comfy, stylish. Not only is Rippin' Bangers a lifestyle, it is now a fashion statement. So get yours, breakingfreeproductions.com/store. Check it out, link in description. All right, so banger number three, this is the one we're here for. This is where you get the real silky smooth, long exposure bangers. We have slowed our shutter speed down all the way to 1 second. So that's the reason for the tripod, to keep that steady. If you try and hand shoot that and hold still for 1 second, you're gonna get motion blur where you don't necessarily want it. So 1 second, we opened up our aperture, or we narrowed our aperture all the way to f/22. So huge wide field of view, and we lowered our ISO down to 200. So now we had to add an ND filter to our lens, because I'll show you the image what it looks like without the ND filter. You have so much light coming in with that 1 second and all these whites and highlights with that 1 second shutter speed. You have to have something on the end to kind of, basically sunglasses for your lens to help lower your exposure so you can get a quality image. So that's the purpose of the ND filter. I have a variable 2 to 5. I'm set all the way to 5 for this picture. And when you take these long exposure pictures, you want to touch your camera as little as possible. So I'm going to hit the shutter button and let it run for its 1 second, and then we'll get that silky, smooth banger. Here we go. All right, we're going a little off the cuff, little banger discovery here, number 4. I was leaning down, we were wrapping up here at this point, and I just happened to crouch down and look at my lens, and I could see the waterfall in the background. So Nate has got his camera, little first ever guest banger on Rippin' Bangers. So here's Nate just lining up the shot. If you look closely, you can see I can't see it. The reflection in, you can see the reflection of the waterfall in the end of the lens. Did you get her, Nate? How'd she look?
Oh, she looks good. So the rocks and everything are not going to be in focus.
Right.
So then you have the in focus in the lens of the camera.
Oh yeah, that's a banger. Let's show it to him. All right, next on today's episode, you know we got to get a video for you guys. So Nate's over here. He's going to get the Mavic Mini up in the air. We're gonna see what kind of banger clips we can get kind of driving through this canyon. As you can see, the big waterfall we were just at is down there, and then we have this beautiful blue water that runs all the way down this canyon. So we're gonna play around for a little bit and see what we can see, and obviously we're gonna show it to you. But first, hit that subscribe button. Now we'll show it to you.
I woke up feeling like this gon' be my day. I got that poppin' fire every step I take. Living that wild life, not stopping out no way. Just seeing green lights, won't never touch the brakes. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Nate's shredding so hard he's got spectators. And that's gonna do it for this episode of Rippin' Bangers in Iceland. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, roll the bangers. See you next time. Bye.